Dubai isn't running out of shoppers. It's running out of buyers. The illusion is still alive, but beneath the lights, something critical is quietly collapsing. Every day, hundreds of thousands walk into these massive structures, filling corridors with noise, movement, and energy. But movement does not always mean money is changing hands. Tourism is booming again. Flights are full. Hotels are occupied. The city feels alive. Yet inside the malls, something feels different, almost disconnected from that energy. Shops are open. Lights are bright. Displays are perfect. But behind the glass, fewer people are actually buying. The system looks strong, but the core is weakening. Malls are full of people, but empty of transactions. That is the contradiction defining Dubai today. Presence is everywhere, but purchasing power feels strangely absent. Most visitors are not shoppers anymore. They're explorers, photographers, tourists escaping the desert heat, not consumers making high-value purchases like before. Step into Dubai Mall, the heart of this illusion. Over 100 million visitors pass through yearly, creating a powerful image of unstoppable demand. But look closer. Many come for free attractions, air conditioning, or social media content. The mall has become a destination, not necessarily a marketplace anymore. Luxury brands still stand tall, polished, dominant. Stores like Louis Vuitton and Gucci shine brighter than ever on the surface. But inside those stores, traffic does not always translate into sales. Many walk in, admire, take photos, and leave without making a purchase decision. This is the shift no one wants to admit. Dubai has moved from a retail-driven economy into an experience-driven economy, where attention matters more than transactions. Experiences are growing. Entertainment is expanding. But luxury brands cannot survive on attention alone. Their entire model depends on high-value, consistent spending behavior. And now the first crack appears clearly. Visitor numbers are rising, but actual spending inside luxury retail is quietly declining across key locations in the city. At the same time, rental costs remain among the highest globally. Brands are forced to spend more just to maintain presence, even as profits begin to shrink. It becomes a silent pressure. More people, less money, more visibility, less conversion. A system expanding outward while weakening internally at the same time. Dubai still looks like the capital of global shopping. The architecture, the scale, the luxury, everything signals strength. But signals can sometimes hide deeper realities. Because when people stop buying, even the most beautiful retail spaces begin to lose their true purpose. And that change doesn't happen loudly, it happens quietly. So now the real question emerges, sharper than ever before. Is Dubai still a global shopping capital, or becoming the world's most expensive entertainment hub? The real collapse doesn't start in the malls. It starts with the people who used to spend the most, and who are now quietly disappearing. These were not ordinary visitors. They were high-net-worth transit tourists, flying through Dubai, turning short stopovers into five-figure shopping sprees without hesitation. Russian elites, Chinese luxury buyers, European tourists, they were the backbone of premium retail. Their absence is now creating a silent vacuum across malls. The disruption didn't happen randomly. It was triggered by geopolitics. When global tension rises, luxury spending is often the first thing people quietly pull back from. Travel patterns are changing too. More direct flights, fewer stopovers. Dubai is no longer the automatic shopping pit stop it once used to be. Currencies fluctuate. Economies slow down. Confidence weakens. And luxury, more than anything, depends on confidence. The feeling that money can be freely spent without hesitation. Step inside Mall of the Emirates, still one of the most powerful retail centers in the region, operating smoothly on the surface. Everything looks functional. Stores are open. Footfall is consistent. But something crucial is missing. The high-spending customer who once drove massive transactions daily. Even Ski Dubai remains packed, attracting visitors from across the world, maintaining the illusion of strong engagement. But here's the truth. Attractions bring attention, not necessarily revenue for luxury stores. People come to experience, not to spend thousands on fashion anymore. Luxury retail depends on three invisible pillars: confidence, mobility, and global cash flow. And right now, all three are under pressure simultaneously. Without confidence, people hesitate. Without mobility, they don't arrive. Without cash flow, even the wealthy become selective about where and how they spend. So behavior is shifting. People still visit malls, but for very different reasons than before. The intention behind the visit has fundamentally changed. They come for air conditioning, for leisure, for social moments, for photos, not for high-value purchases that once defined Dubai's retail dominance. To adapt, malls are evolving. Events, wellness programs, fitness activities, and loyalty ecosystems are now replacing pure shopping as the main attraction. Retail spaces are slowly transforming into lifestyle hubs, places where people spend time, not necessarily money in the way they once did. But this raises a deeper question. If luxury depends on spending, and spending depends on global flows, what happens when those flows no longer arrive? Because if the high-spending tourist disappears, Can Dubai's luxury retail survive on local demand alone? Or is this the beginning of a deeper structural shift? Now the collapse becomes visible, not in headlines, but in empty corridors, closed stores, and silence slowly replacing the noise that once defined Dubai's retail empire. Step into Ibn Battuta Mall, once a symbol of themed architectural brilliance, now quietly revealing the cracks of a fading retail model. Anchor tenants have started disappearing, cinemas have shut down, major brands have exited. What remains is a fragmented structure struggling to maintain its former identity. In their place, discount retailers emerge. Budget stores, clearance outlets, and low-margin tenants begin filling spaces once occupied by global luxury brands. This is not random decline. It is structural. Dubai simply has too much retail space, far beyond what actual consumer demand can sustain long-term. At the same time, rental systems remain rigid, prices stay high, even as revenues fall, creating pressure that forces many brands to leave quietly. And then comes competition. Mega malls are not just competing globally, they are competing with each other, pulling customers away within the same city. Now shift to City Walk, once designed as a luxury lifestyle boulevard inspired by European elegance and high-end fashion culture. Today, that vision has changed. Luxury retail has been replaced by offices, clinics, and educational institutions, transforming the entire purpose of the space. Retail did not disappear completely, it adapted, but not by choice, by necessity. The new tenants are not aspirational, they are functional. This reveals a deeper truth. Malls are no longer purely retail spaces. They are evolving into mixed-use ecosystems designed simply to survive changing economic realities. Now look at Dubai Festival City Mall, another major center still attracting strong visitor numbers on the surface. But here, survival depends heavily on anchor tenants like IKEA, drawing consistent traffic into an otherwise fragile retail environment. Discounts have become the main strategy. Promotions, offers, and constant sales are now required to bring people in, replacing natural demand with artificial incentives. The traditional fashion mall concept is fading. Clothes alone no longer drive footfall. Food, entertainment, and services are now the primary attraction points. What remains is a strange contradiction. Beautiful architecture still stands, polished and impressive, but the purpose inside these spaces feels increasingly hollow. Luxury without liquidity, design without demand, a system that looks powerful externally, but internally struggles to justify its own existence in a changing world. So now the question becomes unavoidable. Are these malls truly evolving into something new? Or are they slowly surrendering to forces they can no longer control? The future of Dubai's malls is no longer about size or luxury. It's about survival. And only those that adapt fast enough will avoid becoming silent, empty shells. A new type of winner is already emerging. Not built on fashion or luxury, but on experience. Something people cannot download, replicate, or replace digitally. Step inside Dubai Hills Mall, a perfect example of this shift, where entertainment is no longer secondary. It is the main attraction. Here, the focus is clear. Experiences first, products second. People don't come just to shop. They come to spend time, feel something, and stay longer. This is driven by a new generation. Generation Alpha doesn't value ownership the same way previous generations did. They value moments, interaction, and shareable experiences. Retail now must become physical, immersive, and emotional, something that cannot be replaced by a phone screen or delivered in a cardboard box. But not all malls can adapt this fast. Some are stable but stagnant, quietly losing relevance without showing obvious signs of collapse. Take Dubai Marina Mall. It still functions, still attracts visitors, but lacks the energy needed to compete in a changing retail environment. Then there is Nakheel Mall, built with ambition, but burdened by high costs and inconsistent engagement from visitors. Even premium locations cannot guarantee success anymore. Without strong engagement, even the most expensive spaces struggle to maintain relevance in this new landscape. And then comes Mercado Shopping Mall, charming, nostalgic, but increasingly disconnected from what modern consumers actually want today. Its beauty remains, its identity remains, but nostalgia alone cannot compete with a world driven by speed, technology, and constant stimulation. This reveals the bigger truth. Oversupply, digital competition, and changing human behavior are permanently reshaping the entire retail ecosystem. The equation has changed. More malls no longer mean more growth. In fact, it may now mean more fragmentation and weaker performance across the system. Yet despite this, new megaprojects continue to rise. Bigger, more ambitious, more expensive, built on a model that is already under pressure. This creates a dangerous possibility. Not growth, but overexpansion. A bubble where supply continues to grow while real demand quietly weakens underneath. Dubai didn't fail to build malls. It perfected the art of building them. But the world around those malls is changing faster than the model itself. So now the final question becomes unavoidable. Will these spaces evolve into entertainment ecosystems? Or fade into empty monuments of a consumer-driven era? Because the real collapse doesn't happen in one moment. It happens slowly, quietly, as energy fades and silence begins to replace the noise. And by the time everyone notices, it may already be too late. The lights will still be on, but the purpose will already be gone.